welcome to Geeky Girls Journal. So today, you guys, I this virtual caught me kind of off guard. If you're watching from the beginning, you'll see that I was caught off guard. So, nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I just wanted to bring this conversation to you all because I was driving around the other day and I heard this. I heard this conversation on the radio, and it was asking the listeners if they had regrets about having children. So that's just something I kind of wanted to bring here. And the title says, should you have children or should you have kids? Same thing, right? Okay, so should you have kids? And I'm going to kind of go into, for those people that have had children, do you have any regrets? So this is going to be one of those cooperative videos, if you will. And first, let me say, because I didn't say, thank you for coming to Geeky Girls Journal. If this is your first time, thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you for coming in. And I look like I'm lagging, so give me 1 second. Should you have kids? And I have heard this before. My opinion may be a little bit biased because I do have children. However, there was a point in my life where I did not have any children. So I'm going to try to, kind of tap back into that part of my life and try to recall some reasons why I I can't say why I may not have wanted to have kids because I don't think I have ever said no, no, like I definitely do not want to have kids, but I really want to make this a safe space for those of you who are considering if you should or should not have kids. Now, I know a lot of my audience probably already has kids, are mothers and fathers, but I just kind of wanted to address this for those of you that are considering having children or trying to figure out if you should or if you should not have children. And what I'd like this video to be is a help to you. I want it to be a safe space first, and I want it to be a place where you can come and maybe hear my suggestions or hear some of the things that I've said in this video, and then maybe you can take them and apply them to your life, and then if it doesn't apply, you just throw it out. But also, I know that a lot of family, my YouTube family that has children can also comment here and leave reasons why you should or shouldn't have children, or they can share some of their experiences in the comment section with you so that if you are in that space in your life where you're trying to figure out if you should have a child or if you should not have a child, my hope for this video is that you can watch this video and that you can read some of the comments in the comment section to help you to make a better decision. So here we are. Okay. If I think back to the time period before I had children, so I've never been one of those people who, okay, first let me say this. I think you have three groups of people: those who definitely really, really want to have children. Hi, John. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Maybe you can chime in. I'm glad you're here today. So you have the first group that says, I really, really love kids. I don't care no matter what. I'm having children. It's always been a dream of mine. And can you also tell me, John, if you can see me clearly? I don't know if this is clear. For me, it looks clear, but I'm not sure if it's clear for the viewers. And I want to make sure this is a good experience for you all. So again, you have the first group, those who say, I definitely want to have kids. Kids are the best thing, just since sliced bread. I'm having kids. It doesn't matter, whatever the outcome, the circumstance. Okay, thank you, John. Thank you. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are in my life. I'm definitely having children. No ifs, ands, or buts. Then you have those people on the opposite end of the spectrum that say, I'm never having kids. I don't care to have kids. I can't stand children. Whatever their reason may be, they're clear. They don't want them. They don't feel like they need kids in their life, and they are just set on not having children. So they say, I'm not having them. And I've heard some people in my life say, I'm not having kids. And my question is always, I wonder, what brings you to that conclusion? And again, here, no judgment zone. We're just trying to figure things out because I'd like to be able to help those people who are kind of on the fence about having kids. I've been seeing some comments lately about people that, like I said, are on that side when they're just like, I do not want to have kids. I don't care what anybody says. I don't want children. And that is their personal opinion. So I Okay, John. Thank you for sharing your opinion about kids. Thank you. I happen to be a person that likes kids too. I love kids. So, I again, like I said, I don't want to bring my biased opinions here because I want to make it a zone where people feel like they can share and not feel like I'm judging them, because I'm definitely not doing that. I just want people to make decisions that are best for them. And like I said, my hope is just to be able to point out some things that you should think about before having kids, or before you just decide that I don't want them, right? And I don't care what anybody says, because you might have a change of heart. So, again, the first group, I love kids. Second group, no, I don't want them. And then you have those of us, those people who are in the middle, who say, I could have kids, or I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me. You have two boys. Oh, that's great. That's great. Are they young kids or are they older kids, John? Because that's also a difference. There's also a difference with that. So, yeah, I wonder. Um, Sorry, my daughter's notification keeps coming up, but I wonder, for those people that are right there in the middle that say, it doesn't affect me either way. I want to have them. Some days I feel like I want to have them. Some days I don't feel like I want to have them. And then you have, like I said, those in the middle who just say, you know what? I don't care if I have them, I have them. If I don't, I don't. It really doesn't matter. They're not on either side, like that side that says I have to have them or it's the end of the world, or I do have to have them, 117 and 135. Oh, good. So you have an adult and a young adult that's about to become an adult soon. So that is very interesting. I now have an adult, and I have a younger person that's about to become an adult, and then I have younger kids. So I can say that there is a difference. There's a difference in each stage. And, John, if you feel like you want to share those at any point, you go ahead and drop it, because you're very engaging right now. So thank you for engaging and sharing. I appreciate it. Hopefully this video is going to help somebody else. And if you think of something, John, that I'm not thinking about, please put it in the comment section so we can talk about it. Because sometimes I just may forget. I might forget. So what I want to look at first, okay, if you are one of those who say, I definitely want to have kids, I don't need to persuade you, because you already definitely want to have kids. And I'm not going to try to persuade you. I don't need to. I just need to give you some information. So for those of you who are in the middle and who are on the other end of it, before you make those decisions, I was thinking about some of these comments that I was reading up, reasons why people do not want to have children. So we all know that the first thing that they probably say is that children are expensive. Yes, children are expensive. So that is a true statement. Some other people say my 17-year-old acts like a 40-year-old. Well, good. That means you have a very mature 17-year-old. 17-year-old that acts like a 40-year-old. Oh, that's funny. So are they like really calm? Like their temperament is really calm. Um, so yeah, thank you, John. That's funny. So yeah, if you are on a fence about having children, I say ask the very important questions. Do you have the patience to deal with another human? Because for me, okay, let's just say I initially said I wanted to have one. That was my plan. My youngest has ADHD. Okay, okay. And they act like a 40-year-old. That's interesting. Yeah, so you could probably tell us some stories that will help out. Yeah, so how does that work out with your situation, John? Do you have to alter anything because the child has ADHD, or, are things just pretty, I wouldn't say normal, but what some people might call normal, but your normal obviously is whatever your lifestyle is. So is there anything you'd like to say that can help somebody out that has a child that has ADHD, or that may experience life with a child that has ADHD? Because I have very limited experience. None of my children have ADHD that I'm aware of. And I did teach in the school system, so I did come in contact with some children that had it, but I know it's different for each child. Gotta watch when he gets angry. Okay. Okay, so when he gets angry, you have to be careful and watch out for his behavior. All right, well, thank you for sharing that. Like I said, anything else you want to share, go right ahead and do it. So, yeah, okay. So, what I would say is those that are in, sorry, John, if you were finished, I don't want to cut you off, but I'm just going to go ahead. And if you put something else there, I'll be paying attention. So, for those that are in the middle and you're trying to figure out, should I have a child or, should I just bypass it? Well, first, these are my thoughts. My thought is that you can have plans and say, I want to have a child or I don't want to have a child, but I I think differently now, especially since I've been in situations where I thought I was done having children and then I just kept getting blessed. I got blessed. Some of my kids were not planned, but God saw fit to give me children and he saw fit to keep blessing me. And before I would think like, Lord, this is a lot to handle. This is a lot to handle with these kids. But I also realized that God would not give me more than I can handle. And that includes kids, that includes children. So, what I would do is each time I got pregnant, I would say, Lord, please, Lord, give me more patience. Lord, give me the strength. And people say, be careful what you ask for, right? So, in my situation, I needed to have more patience. Hey, Bran, how you doing? Got to watch me. Geeky girls, hey, you see. Hey, Bran, I see you. Thank you for coming in. So, yeah, in my situation, what I needed was more patience. And I actually used to joke about this, but I think it's very true in my case that He knew I needed more patience and He gave me more patience through children. Like I was able to experience, he girls, I'm good. That's good. Thank you for coming in. Bran, did you watch Tom and Jerry today? Okay, let me get back on target. So in my case, I know that I needed to have my children in order to experience being a more patient person. And am I saying, hey Kelly, how you doing? Hey. So I'm not saying that I'm the most perfect. I don't have perfect patience. I don't even know if there's such a thing, but I can tell you that I've become more patient as I've had kids. And I know it's because I've been stretched. There are things that I would have probably never experienced if I didn't have kids. Geeky girls, I watched the Tom and Jerry movie. Which one, Bran? Which one? And I know you're trying to be funny at the Tom and Jerry movie. So Bran is here to get me off task. I bring it, hey, you silly. Okay, so Bran said, hey, Kelly. So yeah, I just okay, so let me backtrack. So yes, I experienced having more patience with every child I got. I believe I became a more patient person, which helped me out because in life, in order to deal with different people and multiple personalities, you're going to need patience. Kelly, you said, oh my, is that for Bran or is that for me? So, yes, I had to experience having children. I'm not saying that's the only way I got patience, but I'm saying that was the thing that I realized that gave me more patience, having children. Boom, boom, boom. And then, like I said, with each child, I said, Lord, if you want me to do this and if you want me to be effective, you are going to have to give me more patience. Lord, you're going to have to also guide me because I realized once I had children, and I had 5 girls, once I had my children, I realized I need a whole lot of guidance. I need guidance because being a parent, I believe, is not something you can do without the guidance of the Lord. Because I'm telling you, I taught in the school system and I'm a disciplined person. I also love order. I also I love order. I don't like a lot of chaos. And what I learned was that when you have children, you're going to have some spikes. You're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows. You're going to have some things that come up that are out of your control. And that's another thing. I really like to control situations and things, but realized I couldn't do that. Well, I can do it as much as I can do it within my power with my children. But What I'm saying is, you can't control everything that happens in the lives of others. Things are going to happen, and you have to be able to be flexible. You have to be able to kind of roll with the punches. Yes, you still need to maintain order. Yes, you still have to guide them. You still have to protect them. You still have to provide financially. But there are some things that will happen that will just kind of make you do this. It stretches you and stretches you and stretches you. And you sometimes didn't think you could stretch that much. And you do. You stretch, you grow, and it's a beautiful experience. I know I'm looking like I'm unsure, but it just made me think. I was trying to think of the right word. It's a beautiful experience. So for those who are saying that you definitely don't want to have kids, I think I would like to pose a question to you. Why wouldn't you want to have kids? And not being judgmental when I'm saying that, but just asking a question, because I want you to think about your reasoning for not wanting to have them. And what's your reasoning for wanting to have a child? So we can go either way. Geeky girls, did you take Mickey Mouse pamper from? No, no, but I have. No, but guess what? I have Baby Alive's Pampers here. I have whole lot of Pampers for dolls now, since my daughters are not in diapers anymore. Thank the Lord. That's another thing. You have to do some things as a parent that you would not have to do when you're single. Changing diapers, right? You have to do things like that. So if you want to be a parent and you don't know how to change diapers, or don't want to ever change diapers in your life, you might not want to be a parent. You might want to reconsider that. Let's see here. Okay. So let me get back to what I heard on the radio. That's what we can do. And then I'll go back. So what I heard on the radio was someone asked the question, do you regret having children? I like to share. How are you? Hey, Jay. I'm fine. I'm here. It's a pop-up. Pop. So that's why. Thank you for sharing me out, and thanks for liking this video. I'm really just, you know, I heard this topic about parents that regret having children. And I have to say, I was just kind of wondering, I was just, so that's what I'm talking about right now, Jay. I'm talking about, and Kelly and OG Brand and John and whomever else is here. That's what I'm talking about, because as I was driving, I was just thinking, I wonder how many other parents are thinking that. And there were, for the majority of the parents that I heard call in, they all said, parenting is difficult. They said the things that all parents would say. Parenting is difficult. Parenting is hard. It's tough. It's a journey. But I wouldn't replace it with anything. And they wouldn't change it. That's what the majority of the parents said. But then you had some ones that are brave souls. And I'm going to say brave because I know that in a society where people can push childhood on some, it's brave to step out and say, I regret having my kids. I thought that was pretty brave, because there were at least 2 callers that I heard, maybe 3, while I was driving. And the one that really stuck out, she said she regretted having her children because she hated the co-parenting thing. So I was like, is that really regretting having kids, or is that regretting your situation? I think and here I am, I don't want to be judgmental, and I don't want to skew or misinterpret what she was saying, but this is how I interpreted it. So this is how I'm going to say it. Hey, Jordan, I saw Barney. Oh, okay, everybody's saying hi. So I just kind of interpreted it as, she did say I regret having kids, because the question was, do you regret having children? And she said yes. But her reasoning was she regretted having them because of co-parenting. She didn't want to have her children because she was in a situation where co-parenting was just kind of not her cup of tea. She was not having a good time. She said that something happened with the father, and she didn't enjoy like the whole drop off pickup thing and trying to schedule things and all that. So I would say if I could have asked her, do you regret having the kids, or do you regret the situation that you're in from having the kids? And I think that's a different thing. What do you all think? Do you all think that's a different thing, or do you all think that's the same thing? Like, do you think that's her regretting having her kids, or is that her regretting having a situation that she's put in because she had the kids? Or am I overthinking this thing? I don't know. You tell me in the comment section. What do you think? Did she really regret? And I know she could tell us better than we can say it, but I mean, if we're just having this conversation, would you think that she regrets having kids, or would you think that she just regrets the situation that she's put in because she has kids? So I would say if she had children by someone else, and say that that person was her ideal mate, right? She was still with them and she didn't have to co-parent and she didn't have to go through like baby mama drama or whatever it is that she did. I would think, well, maybe she would say, maybe she wouldn't regret having kids, because that's a different thing. Do you regret them because when you look at them, you're just like, I can't stand these kids? Or is it when you look at them, you're like, I don't even know why I had you? Because that's a whole nother situation to me. Or is it that I regret having them because sometimes I can't afford to have these kids, or the parent that's no longer in my child's life is not around. That's why I regret having these kids. Okay, it all makes sense, but I don't know. I guess I'm curious and looking for clarity in a lot of situations. And Kelly says it could be a little of both. Her situation is not ideal. No, her situation is not ideal. And that brings me to this. So she regrets it. Yeah, she regrets it, Brand. She says she regrets having her kids. But when I heard it, I just kind of, I took it the way that I just said. Did she really regret having the kids? Or did she regret the relationship that she had with the person that helped her to, produce the children? Because that doesn't mean you regret having your kids. That means you might regret the relationship that you were in, right? Or like I said, am I just thinking too much into it? So that's why I wanted to have this conversation. And then after I saw that, it just made me curious. I wondered how many parents regretted having kids. So I did a Google search and looked at Psychology Today, and it said between 5 and 14% of parents that have children regret having children. So I thought, okay, between 5 and 14, for me, that's not a huge percentage. But then as I kept reading, it said that was just basically the parents that are willing to admit that they regret having kids, because they said it's, kind of frowned upon for parents to have children and then say that they regret having it. So a lot of parents don't take the survey, or haven't taken the survey, or a survey wasn't done in that manner because of the parental shame that comes along with saying that you regret having kids, which is also why I said this is going to be a no judgment zone with that, because I am a mom of 5. However, very curious as to reasons why people do want to have kids or those who do not. So my question is really, why do people not want to have children? I have kids. I know why I had them. I had them because, first of all, like I said, they weren't all planned. They were definitely a gift from God, and I can tell you that with no hesitation. Definitely a gift from God. So I don't have regrets when it comes to my children. You might be saying, oh, you're just saying that because this is your video. No, I really don't. Because I realize that the things that have happened to me were meant to happen to me. And having my kids were a part of that package deal. It's kind of weird sometimes though, because where I had plans and I had everything in my life planned out. I was like, I'm gonna live here, I'm gonna have a loft, I'll have one child, a maid, a butler, a chef. I don't have any of those things. I don't have any of those things. So my plans did not go as planned. However, my plans are perfect for my life. You know why I say that? Because I couldn't see the big picture. I couldn't see what Andrea wanted. I know what Andrea wanted as a 20-year-old. And Andrea said, hey, I want one. I want one girl. I wanted one daughter so that I can be like, oh, I can, this is my right-hand girl. I'm dressing her up. Hey, Liz B, thank you for coming in. Liz, you might be able to speak to this subject if you feel comfortable enough. So I said, I wanted one child. I wanted this. I wanted that. I had all the plans, but when I found out, my plans were not God's plans for my life, obviously, because it changed. Everything was different. I'm a suburb mom now, right? I don't even live in the city anymore. So those parts changed of me that I thought I wanted, that I desired, that I was like, hey, I want to live in the city. And then when I had kids, once I had beyond my second, I realized why I don't need to live in the city with kids. I need to have access to the city and be close where I can drive right into it, but I really need to have my space. I need to have, when I go home, I want it to be quiet. I don't want to have a whole lot of noise around me. I want it to be quiet. I want my children to be in a safe environment. Oh, that's Kelly saying hi to Liz. And I see Cal. Hey, Cal, how you doing? Hey, Cal. Hey, Cal. Hey. So, Cal, why the live look so different? Well, it looks different perhaps because, am I closer? I'm closer to you. Well, it's because I'm trying a vertical live. Again, this is my second time trying it. I tried it before, and this is the second time because people said try the vertical live. So I thought, hey, why not? I mean, if I'm gonna go live, then I'll just do a pop-up live vertically, see what happens. I'll look at the analytics, see if it makes a big difference. If not, then I haven't lost anything. So maybe that's why it looks different. I'm vertical now and not horizontal. It's not what landscape. It's portrait. It's vertical. It's not horizontal. So maybe that's why. But Cal, I don't know. Maybe you can weigh in on this. The conversation is should you have kids? And I was just kind of talking about my journey slightly. I was just saying how the chat is different. Oh, it is. I mean, it is different because normally, well, I mean, I don't know how it looks on the other side. Normally, the chat is on the right side, right? Well, my right, maybe your left, or your left, or your right. I don't know. But this time, maybe, I don't know. Where's the chat? Is it like right underneath me? Is that what's different, Cal? Because I don't know. For me, I'm looking at it and it's right underneath me. So it might appear differently for you. Let me know so that way I'll know next time. But yeah, I was just wondering, Cal, because, for my life, I said I would do it this way, this way, this way. I had it all perfectly planned out. I thought I had it perfectly planned out, right? And I said it's going to be this, that. And when I had it planned out, it sounded like a wonderful plan to me. But then, like I said, as I started having kids, I realized why I shouldn't be in anybody's city with 5 kids. Because, first of all, I'm not the type of girl that would like to, and I'm just saying for me, this is not a side swipe to anybody that lives in a city that has 5 or more kids. It's not. I'm talking about Andrea and her preference. I just want to make sure that's clear. I do not like the whole idea of taking kids. Like if I had to get on the subway every day, I don't like the idea of me having to juggle multiple things like strollers, bags, a train of kids getting on and off the train. For me, that would have been a very stressful situation. Probably wouldn't be for people who are from a larger area that's had to do that because they're accustomed to doing it. And it's like second nature. For me, I would be nervous because I would have to take attendance every time I got on the train. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every time I got on, every time I got off. Let me find a seat for you. Where are you going to sit? Where am I going to sit? Maybe I'm just going to stand. Take my seat. Here, hold your sister's hand. Sit by your sister. Hold your sister's bag. Carry your sister's bag. Too much. I mean, I could also have a vehicle, right? So then that wouldn't be a problem. But I'm just saying the things that I immediately thought of, reasons why I don't live in New York City, because I like New York City. I really do. I really love it. I think most people do, but I don't know that I would function properly there. The type of person that I am. I love to go visit. I like to stay. I like to go have fun. But I don't know that it would have been conducive for me to live there with my situation, the type of person I am, my temperament, and my kids. So I don't know if you have something to say that opposes what I just said. Go ahead. You have a right to your opinion, just as I have a right to mine. So please share it in the comment section if you like to. Cal said, yes, IMO, you should have kids, no matter your location, but only if it's right for you. But let's be real. Is it ever a right time? God will guide and keep you. Yeah, so that's kind of where I was going with this too, Cal. I think that it's a person's decision. That's the first thing. Whether they want to have kids or not, or if they're in the middle, like I talked about, some people are just in the middle. They're like, if I have kids, I have kids. If I don't, I don't. They're just kind of like, hey, whatever happens, happens. I found myself in the middle. I wasn't like, definitely don't want to have them, or I gotta have them. I was just kind of like, hey, I'll have them. So I just, especially after I had my first, I was just kind of like, whatever. Well, after I had my third, I was just like, whatever God blesses me with is what I will have. I realized at that point I could not predict what I was having, how many I was having, that it was in God's hands. And I've always believed it was in God's hands. I just believed that God would just give me one, but He gave me five. And I have to say, it's been a lot of work. It is expensive. Kids are expensive. However, I've grown so much because I'm a mother. I've grown tremendously. I'm definitely not as selfish as I used to be. I'm not as self centered because I was both selfish and self centered. I mean, everything was about me. Everything was about me all the time. Why not? So I only had to look out for myself. Now I got to worry, I have to think about the lives of five other people. Six, really, if you include my husband. So what did you say, Kelly? The rat scare me in NYC is very expensive. Yes, yes, I would agree. It's very expensive. That's why I said I like to go visit, but if I can have a bigger space with a big yard, that's what I'm going for. And that's what I chose. I just wanted to have space. I needed to have space, and my kids needed to have space. And fortunately, I mean, it was a blessing that God knew. He knew better than I did. And I'm just glad that I have Him to guide me and to, to be able to have a plan for my life and to say that this is the best decision for you. And for me, I gotta say, God is a real gentleman, because it's a lot of things that I'm like, I want this, or I think this is how it should go. And I gotta say, God allows me to have my way a lot of times. A lot of times He allows me to have my way. He allows me to figure things out. He allows me to pursue different things. And then He's like, okay, I need to step in here and I need to show you. This is my interpretation. You all can, this is how I see it. Then He's like, hey, I need to step in here and kind of show her the best way. So then He shows me the best way. And I'm like, I never thought I would like this one, or not never. I didn't think about this way, but kind of like it. Kind of like this plan. In fact, I love this plan. I love this plan. Let's see what Cal said. You would adapt to the city. You might overthink it. I have faith you would pull it off. But even with that, you still might want a slower pace or more personal. City NY is a fast pace. Yes, try New Jersey. Get your backyard. Nah, see, Cal, this is the thing. So I explored all those different places and landed where I landed. And I'm like, this is the best. Like, I'm not even thinking about moving anytime soon. Maybe in maybe 6 or 7 years, but for now I'm gonna be here. And like I said, I like to go visit New Jersey. I have relatives that live there, and I'm there. I go there often, and I'm like, I did consider that at a point. Like, I really was considering New Jersey. Then I was like, you know what? I New Jersey's expensive too. New Jersey's expensive too, because I would have needed to have at least 5 bedrooms. Not needed, want, because I know that you can make it work. Like, you can make things work, right? When you're in situations, you will make things work out. And that's the same thing with parenting, for those people who may be afraid that they won't parent right, or I don't have the skill set to be the perfect parent. Who's the perfect parent? Like, it's almost one of those things that you almost just have to jump into. Yeah, read the books, get as much knowledge as you can, be financially stable, do all those great things. Have wisdom, um, patience. What am I missing? A lot. So you just need a whole lot of things to be a parent. And like I said, from God, you need guidance from God to be a parent, because that's a tough job. And you also, for me, I think about it this way: that's somebody else's life that you've been entrusted with. So you want to try to make the best choice for that human being that you can make. For me, I don't want to ever just not jump into something blind. That's not what I'm thinking about. I don't want to just take for granted that I'm a mom. I want to be able to give my kids freedom to make decisions. I want to also be there to guide them, to protect them, to nurture them, to show them right and wrong, to discipline them because they need it. We all do. I'm disciplined by God, um, and I want to be able to provide at all times, because I know it's that thing, at least that thing that I believe in, that I want my kids to do way better, way better than me, like much, much better. If I'm sitting at middle class, I want them to do beyond, just go far beyond what I've done. And I think that with each generation, you're supposed to get better and better. And that's what I want for my kids. I think any parent, any good parent, or any parent that just wants the best for their kids. I can't say any good parent because my definition of a good parent might not be yours. So for me, being a good parent to my children is nurturing, guiding, protecting, offering them financial stability, providing, making sure that they're mentally, you know what, that's the thing now, making sure that their mental health is where it should be. And what else? Trying to address, like me, I try to figure things out before we get to that point. So I try to be 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of my kids thinking of what, whatever it is that they require. So I think that's important as a parent, just kind of trying to predict the path and then saying this would happen or this can happen. So I need to direct you in this way, right? Especially when you have younger kids. I need to try to direct you. As they get older, when they're teenagers, the same thing. When they become adults, now you cannot tell them what to do. You can tell them, you can instruct them, but really it's just suggestion based. Like you can make suggestions. My daughter now that's an adult, I give her suggestions and it's her job to make that decision for herself. It's her job to decide if this is the direction that she wants to go in. Now, I would hope that my teaching and my training and all that stuff kind of came into play, and that she's also thinking about the things that make sense for her in her life, like what's going to be the best decision for her at that moment. I needed space too, Kelly. Yeah, I needed the space. Like I love having my space and stretching out. Thank you very much. I know you all can't see my arms, but that's what I'm doing, trying to stretch out. I love, just give me the space, give me all the space. So like I said, that's not a knock on anybody who lives in the city, because I like the city. I really do. I like the city, but I just prefer to have space. I prefer to be able to stretch out and have my space. So, all right, back to the kids. I think I kind of got off task. So, why wouldn't you want to have a child? And I think I said finances. Some people feel like they will be financially stressed. But what I can tell you is that, like I said, you will find a way to provide if you really want to have a child. If you don't want to have a child, please don't have a child. Please don't have a child, because we don't want you to regret your decision, and we don't want you to say, if I didn't have you, if you're talking to your child, if I didn't have you, I wouldn't be in this situation, because you would not want to project your feelings onto your child and make them feel this small because you decided to have them. So what I would say is, if you don't want to have a child and you know you don't want to have a child, and there's nothing within you, nothing in your being that says child, do not have a child. Do not have a child unless the good Lord tells you different. Now, if he does, you make that decision for yourself. But I would say, if you have no desire, and if you know that parenting is not for you, has never been in your vocabulary, and you are good with your decision to not have a child, don't have a child. Don't have a child. If you're on the fence and you're saying, I've considered it, I don't know, I'm still looking for the answers, I'm still trying to find out if having a child is for me, I would say continue to do your research, because definitely having a child is expensive. Definitely having a child is going to require growth. It's going to require patience. It's going to require lots of time. It's going to require your time. So if you want to have all your time to yourself at all times, don't have a child. If you just want to worry about you becoming a better you and just doing you, and you're selfish, and I don't want to make it sound like selfish, like you just being selfish, like that's the only reason why you should want to have a child. I'm just saying, if you feel like the common denominator is you should not have a child, If everything points to don't do it, don't do it. If everything points to don't do it, don't do it. But you can also change your mind. Like maybe you don't want one right now. When I was younger, I didn't want kids. In fact, I hear my kids say it all the time. They're like, I do not want kids. And I'm like, that's funny because you come from a house full of children. And also, why don't you want to have children? They're like, well, I just want to do me or I just don't want them. And I'm like, oh, I fully understand that. So if you're at a place in your life where you just want to do you and you don't want to have another responsibility and you just want to live life on your terms and not worry about taking care of other human beings, not being responsible for another person's, livelihood and their needs, wants, then don't have another one. But if you're on the fence, I can tell you something positive about having a child. Yes, their work. Yes, people call them crumb snatchers because they can be little crumb snatchers at times. But I can also tell you that having kids have has been just a blessing. It's been a blessing for me. I enjoy it. I enjoy it's weird though because I didn't think I would say I would. I enjoy being a mom. I do. I enjoy being a mother. Um, if I'm being real, if I'm having this conversation with you all, which I'm gonna be real about it, like I said, it pulls you. It's draining sometimes. Sometimes you're just like, ugh, I need a break. I need to get away. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes you might need to get away. But I say overall, I've had lots of joy in my life because my kids, they bring a lot of laughter. They bring a lot of laughter to the house. A lot. It would be so quiet in here if I didn't have kids. It would be so quiet. They bring a lot of laughter. Make me they make me stop and pause sometimes. They also make me um, remember how it feels to be a child. With kids, look at this. I'm able to play with all the toys. Teapots, fake food. What is this? A hair dryer. Like the things that I thought I wanted to do as a child, I can now do it as an adult with my kids. I can play. I can have tea parties. I can run, scream, and just do all those things like nobody's business and not care. And people give me a pass because they see me with all the kids and they're like, oh, that's a mom. She has kids, and I can do some of those things. And I can, they're full of life. They encourage you to, enjoy your life and have fun. And they are a blessing. Like I said, they stretch me. And my thought is, I wouldn't change it. I don't have regrets. I don't regret having my kids. It's definitely brought me it's brought me different changes. And maybe if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't need a whole lot of space. Then I can live in a condo or something somewhere, or not a condo, a loft. I could live in a loft in New York City, perhaps, or wherever else. I'm just using New York City for an example. So please, if you're from New York City, don't get upset because I'm using your city. I'm just using New York City because it's a commonplace that it's a commonplace, excuse me, that most people know about. That is a city. When you think city, you think New York City. You might think Los Angeles, right? So that's why I'm just using those. Nothing against New York City, nothing against New Jersey or any of the other places that I mentioned here. Okay? Just an example. Places that I happen to like, that I thought about, that I'm using this example. And so, yeah, hopefully, I don't know, if you have any questions about, um, if you have any questions about anything you'd like to know about my thoughts, if you have any questions regarding if you should or should not have a child, or if I regret having kids, I said I did not. But if you have another question that you think I could help you find the answer to, or if you have a question that you think I could answer, leave it in the comment section or DM me. I'm on Instagram, Geeky Girls Journal. I want to help you out if you're on the fence about having children. I know that this conversation may have been hard to follow, but hopefully you gained something out of it. I didn't want to come and talk about myself, but I feel like I had to end up using myself as an example so that you can understand why I'm talking about this. But for those of you who definitely want to have children, have them. You're going to find that they're a joy. And despite all the things you hear about kids being difficult as teenagers, I have to say, got a good set of kids here. You know, I do. I really can't complain. I don't really have a lot of heartache behind them. I mean, they're kids. They're gonna do things. They have boundaries, but they're also curious. They also want to try things out. I mean, think about you when you were young. Didn't you want to try things out? Didn't you want to explore? Didn't you? You know, you probably gave your parents a couple gray hairs too. But all in all, you were a good child, or you were whatever kind of child you were, and your parents would probably say, "I'm glad I had that individual." You know, so it's something to think about. Ask. I say that before, if you are in a situation where you can decide if you want to have a child or if not, I would say explore all those questions, even the tough questions. Like I said in the other video with relationships, if you have questions that you think are important, ask all those questions and find out all the information. Ask moms. Ask moms, ask seasoned moms questions that you have in the back of your head that you think, that some people that you may be afraid to ask some people. Ask those questions because those will help you to make the best decision for you. And if you have a partner, for you and your partner, right? You don't want to go into it blindly. You want to have as much information about having kids as possible. Now, I will tell you that most of it is on the job training. It's on the job training. You can ask all the questions, you can read all the books, but some of the things you will not fully understand until you become a parent. So if you're afraid to figure things out, if you're afraid to just jump on in there, if you're afraid to experience life with kids, if you're afraid to try new things, you might want to consider not being a parent. I'm just saying, it's a challenge. It's your choice ultimately, like Cal said in the comments. And I fully agree. It's your choice. Like, it doesn't matter what I say here. It doesn't matter what my opinion is. What do you want to do? What works best for you? No. Is having a child the best choice? And is having a child or multiple children going to be your best option? And also, are you willing to go along with the plan? And I'm not saying your plan, because remember I said I had a plan, but my plan looks nothing like my plan. You know, are you flexible enough and do you believe in God enough to know that you could have a child or multiple child, multiple children, and that He would provide for you? That's what you have to know. Do you believe that He has your best interest at heart? Because if you can answer those questions, you'd probably be in that middle group saying, I might not want a child right now, but I'm not completely opposed, right? So those are just some of the things I can think of off the top of my head and some of the questions that you could ask. Hey, Nails, how are you? All right, Nails. The topic is, what's the topic? I don't remember. It's about do you want children? Do you want children or should you have children? That's the topic. Should you have children? So I was just giving examples of, you have one extreme to the next. You have people who definitely say, I want kids, doesn't matter what. Then you have those who say, I do not want them. I don't care. Don't talk to me about having kids. I don't like them. I don't want them. Then you have those in the middle that say, I can have kids. It doesn't matter to me either way. But I was basically talking about the things that you go through with having kids and decisions that you have to make once you have kids. Because I was using an example of how I thought I would live in a loft in New York City, have a maid, have a butler, and a chef. I think I forgot the chef part because that's very important. I was saying I would have a chef, but my life didn't turn out that way. It was different. I live in the suburbs. I have a house with I have a house with land, and I realized, and I also have 5 girls. I have quiet. My neighborhood's quiet for the most part, and I have a lot of space. So it didn't turn out in that aspect of what I thought my life would be. But as I realized, I said I'm just grateful to be able to have the lifestyle that I have because God chose this life for me, and He knew best. He knew best because I would not be in the situation I'm in if it were not for Him. Because as I said, I thought that it would be best for me to do it the other way, but I found out later, no, it's best this way. And I fully agreed to it because I know what my personality is and what my temperament is. And I definitely need to be where I am. I already have three. I'm done. My youngest is 20. Oh, you have three and done. You see, you said three and done. When I was on my third, I said done. I was like, done, Lord, I'm done. I'm done, done, and done. I used to always say done, done, and done. But for me, I said I was done, but I had no control over my next two. Like God wanted different. It was God's plan. I had to fully submit. And I'm telling you all, I was in the state. I was in a place because I was like, Lord, like, what happened? I thought we agreed on this. I thought we agreed that I was done. I thought we agreed. I thought I said, and I was just really like having this conversation. You had three sons? I didn't know that about you, RX Nails. So you are the queen of that castle, huh? That's cool. My youngest is three. My oldest is, I said three. My youngest is 20. My oldest is 20. So I have an adult. Yeah, I have an adult. And it's so different. It's different when you have an adult child. You still mom, still worry. I don't know. I can't answer for everybody. I still worry. I still am curious. I'm like watching my daughter and calling her, hey, you all right? You need anything? You got everything? Where are you? I still want to know because no matter what, that's going to be my child for life. So 23, whatever, still gonna be my child. But yeah, I like I said, I thought I used to say done, done, and done at three too. But I'm just saying, RX, you never know. I do hope though that if you want to be done, that you're done. Like I said, yes, I still worry. Yes, I don't know that that ever stops. So for people who don't want to have a child, maybe that's why. Maybe you don't have to worry about your kids. I can completely understand that one because you might have some sleepless nights, I'm telling you. And to be honest with you, it doesn't even have to be just because they moved far away. My kids have a cold or something like that, and I'm just like, Lord, take care of this child. Jesus, help them to feel better, Lord. Like, what do I need to do, Lord? Tell me what to do because I can't go to sleep. This child is keeping me up all night. And that's another thing for parents who want to have children or don't want to have kids. That's something else you got to think about. If that child is sick, you're going to have to take care of that child in the middle of the night. You can't say, I'm rolling over and going back to sleep. Oh, no, 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 no. You are going to be up 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning taking care of that child. And yes, if you have to work, you're going to get, it's 2:26. You're still going to have to take care of that child. So those are things you have to decide. And you know what? I'm saying you have to decide that, but do you really have to make that decision right now? I don't know. I'm just saying. Some of you are like, yes, I need to make the decision on everything. Like every question that comes up, I need to have the answer to it. No, you don't. No, you don't. Do you have the answer to, like, who's going to drive down your street tomorrow? You don't know that. Do you know the answer to that question? No. You might notice some of your neighbors who typically go up and down the street will be going up and down the street. But what if there's a person that's never been on this block? Are you going to know the answer to that question? You don't know if they're coming or not. So the same with kids. Like you don't know everything. You can't predict everything. So I say find out all the answers to the questions that you can find out answers to. And like I said, if you have questions in the back of your mind, ask some parents because parents can be unfiltered. Well, a parent like me will be unfiltered. You ask parents like me, and then they can give you the real answer. The real answer. So, I don't know, RX, anything else anybody would like to share before I close this out? Because, I really just came to find out what your thoughts were about this. Because, like I said, that conversation on the radio just kind of had me thinking. I was like, okay, well, I know what I think. But when I heard the parent that said she had regrets and that he had regrets, I just was, I just kind of wondered why they had regrets. And I wondered what other parents would say if I asked them that question, like if you have regrets. And like I said, it said 5 to 14% of parents do have regrets that they polled. Of course, they didn't poll every parent because they didn't ask me that question. So they asked whichever parents they asked, and 5% to 14% said that they did have regrets about having their children. So I just kind of wanted to bring it to this community to find out why parents have regrets, why they didn't have regrets, why they want children, why they don't want children. And all that kind of stuff. All those other parent stuff. RX says, I had 5 grandkids, 6 on. Oh, 5 grandkids, RX? See, you are living your best life right now, then, aren't you? Because I don't know. I don't have grandkids, but I hear that when you have grandkids, and I'm just gonna use the experience that I've had with my parents. My parents are completely different with grandkids. Like with us, they were disciplinarians, and they didn't let us do a lot of, they didn't let us run amok, and they don't let the grandkids run amok. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they have a different spirit about them. Like the grandkids, I call and they're like, oh yeah, let me talk to the grandkids. I'm like, hello, what about me? You forget about your child? So I'm just saying, and I've heard grandparents say, it's nothing like being a grandparent. So, and it's a lot of people who desire to be grandparents. I don't at this moment, but eventually I will. I mean, once my kids are when they get to the age that they want to have a child, then I will want to have grandkids. As of now, my kids say they don't want to have kids, so I'm just gonna be a mama until they decide. Six on a congratulations, RX, because I didn't say that. Congratulations, you're gonna be a grandmama, a grandma. So do you call yourself grandma or any of those things, or do you just go with the traditional grandma? I'm wondering, like, what do your grandkids call you? I'm curious, cause I hear it all, grandma. That's usually for the younger grandmas. Grammy, which, or I hear granny. I feel some kind of way about that one. I don't want my grandkids calling me granny, cause I just always picture like somebody who's very very old in a rocking chair that can't do much, and I want to be like still moving about and shaking. I still want to be moving and shaking. Hey, David Corey. How you doing? I'm listening. You listening, David? Good. Hey, RX, David Corey. Mama. They call you Mama? That's good. Mama. Hey, Mama. Okay. I've heard Meemaw. Like my daughter just told me some of her friends call their grandma Meemaw. Some kids at her school. And I was like, Meemaw? Okay. I never heard that one, but all right, Meemaw. So Mama. All right. There we go. I didn't get a chance to think of a fancy key name. So when they first said that you feel warm and gushy inside, like I'm mama, mama. Okay, well I mean it's probably never too late to change it if you want to change it. You can just say, hey, so I was kind of thinking kids, I was mama, but I think I'm gonna change it. Like let's kind of put a little spin on it, and then just say whatever name you want it to be. And it depends also on how old the kids are, because they probably like, no, we like mama. But that's cute, mama. Hey Kenneth, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Hey, Kenneth. I hope you're having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great day. So, Mama, Kenneth, David, do you all have any other thoughts about kids? So, my father, he has a cool grandfather name. My kids call him Poppy. Yeah, they say Poppy. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I like that for you. I like that for him. Poppy. Oh, Cal, you're still here? All right. Cal, hey, you've been hanging in here with me. Good afternoon, RX Nails. No, the first time I was like, what the heck? The oldest say. I know that is one of those things. Like, what? Like, mama? It's cute, though. I mean, like, if you hear little kids saying mama, I don't know. All right, I gotta be honest with you, RX Nails. I don't know. I wouldn't choose that for you either. I think you seem like a young hip grandma to me. I think you need something else. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like Mama too or something. Mama, Mama. I mean, I don't know. Mama. Look, hey, if that's what they give it to you, I'm sure it's a lot of love behind that name though, Mama. Kids never listen to me. Why not, Kenneth? It's because what? Why don't kids listen to you, Kenneth? I'm sure that it's some kids in the world that listen to you, Kenneth. But Mama, yeah. So I probably would have said the same thing. RX was like, what? Y'all can think of something else. But yeah, maybe alter it. Alter it. I say RX kind of slide in with that new name that you want to add. And just look at their faces when you say it, like just kind of ease in there. You probably already tried this before, because I'm just curious, and I mean it's none of my business. Like it's really not my business at all. I'm not even trying to be in your business. I just want you to be happy. So if you think of a name, you should try it out one day. Try it out on them, and then see how they respond. And then then if they like, if they kind of you can kind of ease them into it, and then one day it just shifts. No more mama, it's something else. And then a little cards that they wrote mama on. Now they start saying something else like glammy or I don't know. What would you want to be? That's a better question. What would you want to be called, RX? What would you want your grandkids to call you? Good afternoon. RX says, I did want something else for years, but I embrace it now. I love to hear them call me mama. Ah, well, if you like it, we just gonna settle on into mama. We settling on in there. So claim that name. And like you said, you hear their little voices. I guess at that point it doesn't matter what they call it. No, it doesn't matter what they call you. But that's a respectful name. It's nothing disrespectful, and it'll be cute coming out of their little voices, I'm sure. So, and you're gonna have a six coming in to say mama. Oh, you're gonna have all six little voices saying mama. That's so cute. Yeah, me. I told my kids. I said, listen here. I don't have a grandma name picked out yet, but do not let your kids call me Granny. No offense to the people who are called Granny. That's your choice. I don't want to be called Granny. I don't want to be called Grammy. I'll take Grandma. I'll take Grandma. I mean, I don't know. That just seems like it's for younger people, like a young person with grandkids. So I don't know how old I'm gonna be once my kids have kids, and I don't want to think about it right now. I'm just gonna take whatever God gives me, I guess. So maybe I can just come up with a name at that point because I don't know right now. I don't know what I want in this situation. I don't know what I want to be called. I did okay. I know. I know RX. I mean, like that. That's not something I have to decide right now, right? They can just call me that. Hey, Kevin, how are you? Thank you for coming in to the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you all. If you want to drop your links, drop them. Like, drop them. Sharing is caring. So we're sharing over here. Drop your link. Put GGJ. Put GGJ. I don't. It doesn't have to be capitalized. It could be uppercase, lowercase. You just put it in there. GGJ. That's for Geeky Girls Journal. Drop your link so that when people come in, they'll be like, hey, I want to hook up. I want to connect to RX. Now I have her information right here. Boom. Done. Same thing for Kevin. Share it on Reddit. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin. I am um just talking. I wanted to check out Vertical Live again. This is my second time on it. Eventually, I'll look like a mama. But now, I tell people I'm not your average mama. You are not the average mama. No, I don't think you're the average mama. That's why I say, I'm trying to settle into that name for you. But ultimately, it's the grandkids chose it or the children chose it. And, you're accepting of it. So that's really all that matters. But, between you and me, you don't look like a mama. You look, you're way too glamorous. I think you're glamorous, and you should not. Mama, I don't know if that really fits your narrative, but what do I know? I'm just here on the other side of the screen. I don't really know. All I know about you is what you post. So who am I to say you're not a mama? You are a mama. You are whatever you choose to be. Good afternoon, Tuba Chat. Have you seen an influx of viewers? I have not, Kevin. Like right now, I see four of you here. So that's why I wanted to try it out, Kevin, because when I was watching somebody else's vertical live, the person suggested that I do them, and I was just like, okay, well, why not? Like, if I'm going live, I can try it out and see how it works. So the first time I did it, which was maybe a week or two ago, um, I didn't have a whole lot of views. It was like, I want to say maybe 40 views. But this time, I don't know, I see four people right now. So afterwards, or maybe later on today, tomorrow, some point, whenever I look at the analytics to see. But I don't see a whole lot of views. I know that I was into unbiased on unbiased was in the Educated Naturals live yesterday, and she was saying that she had 4,000 views with vertical. So I know it can be done. It's not being done over here in Geeky Girls Journal yet. So it can be done. A few experiments have seen many shorts views. I tried one yesterday which showed up in the shorts feed. Oh, okay. I think my last one did show up in the shorts feed. My last one did show up in the shorts feed, but I don't, like my shorts got pretty good views, but the vertical live that I did not. It could have been the topic. It could have been me. It could be me today too. So I don't know. It might be a mix of things. And the person that was encouraging me to do it in her live, as I was sitting there, she had about four. And then she was like, but you'll see the numbers go up. And they did. Like, I left her live and came back, and she went from like having 4 to, when I came back the second time, she had about 300. So I know it can be done, but maybe it's because this is my second one, or it could be just that this video right now is not for people. They might not be available to watch right now. I I don't know. But I do plan to do a couple tests, Kevin. I want to test it to see if it's going to work out for me in this channel, because if it doesn't, like if I do a few, or I'll do enough to be able to do a test, and then if it looks like it's not really doing anything, I may or may not do it. I don't know. It just depends. This might be convenient sometimes because it's vertical and I can just pop it up wherever I am. But if I see that doing the live the horizontal way is more beneficial, then I would just do it that way. But I I will say I'm going to watch this vertical. I'm going to watch the analytics so that I can make that decision. But as of now, no, I don't see inflexive views to answer your question. I don't know how many people have viewed this or how many people are viewing it or whatever the numbers are. I just know I see 4 right now and I see 9 thumbs up. That's all I can give you, Kevin. So hopefully it works out for somebody else. I hear that it works out. The vertical lives work out, but I mean, my last one, it didn't work out. Oh, what did I do? Are you all still there? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So a few experiments. Okay, I read that one. I have on vertical, after a 30-minute live, it showed I had a total of 60 plus views. Oh, okay. Thanks for sharing that, RX, because perhaps I'll have the views afterwards, like I said. So right now, I don't see that there are a lot of people viewing my vertical. So I will see later, and maybe I can report back to you all on the next vertical live. Hopefully it will help out. Hopefully it will. Now, what I need to do is I need to watch the video about vertical lives and the information. Does anybody know, does this help us out with WH? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Kevin, you might know. So that's a question I have right now that if you can answer it, please do. If not, I'll just go read the information for myself. I'll probably still read it anyway because I'm just that type of person. I like to know or have as much information on a particular subject as I can. And so that way I can share with others. What else did you say, RX? When you hit end, it will tell you how many views. Okay, thank you, RX. I'm going to do that. And I guess I have to end this in like 20 minutes or less because I have to go pick up one of my children. I see you in the short speed. Oh, you do? Yay, I'm in the short speed. I made it. Yes, 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 yes. So I guess that's a good thing, Kevin. If you saying something about the short speed, that's great because maybe I get some more visibility in the short speed. Apparently, the way TikTok and Instagram work is the longer you stay on, the more people eventually come in. The opposite of YouTube generally. Yeah. See, with TikTok, I don't know because I definitely do not have I don't have followers on TikTok. I might have 200. So I'm not at the 1,000 subscriber market, and I think at least you have to have 1,000 subscribers to go live. You all probably have it. I do not have it. So I can't tell you anything about going live on TikTok. The only thing I know is if I were able to go live, I probably would just to test it out, or I would go live just to kind of gauge that audience and just to have these conversations. But I don't know. I don't have that option right now, Kevin. So YouTube, I don't, not only YouTube. I can go live on YouTube. I can go live on Instagram. I can go live on Facebook because I have more than enough subscribers on Facebook and on Instagram. Twitter, I don't know. You can't go live on that, can you? I think you might have to. I don't know what the rules are to go live on Twitter. I have followers probably on Twitter because I have over 11,000 followers, but I don't really do much with that platform. If I'm being honest, I repost, but I don't really do anything with it. Apparently, the way TikTok. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Thank you for all this information, Kevin. This is supposed to work like that, similar to Twitch. Oh, see, I don't know. Now I've heard my kids talk about Twitch. I don't know about Twitch either. Let us know. I will let you know, Mama. RX, you should have never told me that because I'm going to say Mama. I'm just going to say RX because which one do you want me to say? Because now I'm confused. Do you want me to say RX or do you want me to say Mama? Do you care if I say Mama? Because sometimes it might come out now that I know. That's a name. That's a name given in love. So I like it. I imagine vertical live will count for watch hours, but that's a guess at this point. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kevin. just a plethora of information you are. Yes, it will tell you all that when you hit in. I'll have watch hours and views. Oh, it'll have watch hours and views. Oh, okay. Yes, it'll tell you all that when you hit in. It'll have. See, you all. That is why I like coming to this community because you all tell me all the information. Hopefully I can do the same for you. Hopefully I let you know some things that you don't know, or we have great conversation. Did you say you need a nap, Kenneth? I need a nap, Andrea. I'm old. Have a good day, my friend. All right, have a good nap, Kenneth. Thank you for joining me. Twitter bought Periscope a while back. Elon Musk occasionally goes live. Oh, I imagine they'll bring back vertical live there and aggressively push. They want citizen journalists. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. And that makes a lot of sense. I'll just say that. I'm not mine. Okay. All right, RX. All right. So I just want to make sure because I don't want to I don't want to offend you and call you something you don't want me to say because that might be a name just reserved for the grandchildren. So just know that if I have a slip up and I say that, it's all in love, RX. It's all in love because, you know, I know that that's the name that people who love you gave you. So sometimes I might want to be a part of that. Why not? RX. So anything else? Kevin, do you have anything to add about having children? You don't have to say or not. It's your choice. But if you'd like to, I'm just saying the platform is available for you to put in the comment section. Like, what do you have thoughts about children? To have them, not to have them? Should you have them? Shouldn't you have them? Did I say that right? Should you have them? Or should you consider having them? Do you want to have them? Do you regret having them? Are they a chore? Do you love them? Are they a challenge? All those things, whatever it is, whatever question that you have. Just happy to catch you live today, working and lurking. Okay, great. Hey, that's pretty much Kevin, to be honest with you. So I didn't have I'm coming in to give a tutorial type topic or I'm coming in to give you all the information. This was more collaborative, like collaborative with whoever is in the chat that's willing to collaborate with me on this topic because I heard somebody talking about this when I was driving my kids to school and they were talking about the question was, do you regret having children? So I was just kind of like, that just caught my ear. So I turned it up and I was just like, I wondered what some of people's reasoning was behind them saying that they regretted having children. So that's pretty much what this topic was. I wanted to see if there was somebody who was willing to say, I regret having kids, because I know that it would take bravery. Well, I think that it would take bravery for somebody to say, I regret having my kids, or for somebody to say, I don't want to have kids. Because I know that, if people look at a traditional view of families, a lot of times kids are pushed upon people. And I know women especially, they are like, you need to have a child before your eggs, go bad, or you need to have a child before this happens, or you need to have a child before that happens. And I just, I'm always curious about things, and I just wondered what people's opinion here would be about having children. Like I said, my girls, they say I don't want to have kids right now. I can probably think of some time in my life when I was like, yeah, no, I'm good on having a child. But eventually, as I got older, I moved towards, I'd like to have a child. I was never on I don't ever, as I got older, I'm saying, I didn't say I never want to have a child. I just kind of left it open. I wasn't really, pressured, and I wasn't forcing myself. It was just kind of, whenever I have a child, I have a child. And that's what I say to people. Like, don't make it complex. Just kind of go with it. You might not want to have a child today. You might want to have a child tomorrow. So what's the best option for you in your life? That's how you decide. What makes sense for me may not make sense for you. Or what decision I make may not be the best decision for you. So you kind of think about your life. Think about it. Can I afford to have kids? Am I in the right mental state to have a child? Do I have the right partner? You want to have the right partner. That makes a difference. If you feel like this person I'm with, I definitely shouldn't be having children with them, you don't need to have children with them. Don't even question it. If you feel like your gut is telling you I don't need to have a child with this person, don't have a child with that person. So I'm just saying, just go with your gut. Use logic. Look at I don't know, put yourself in different scenarios. If I had a child, could I do X, Y, Z? If I had this child, would I want to do blah, blah, blah? I mean, That's just me talking. Hey, geeky girl. Hey, Tamika. If I didn't say hi, hey, geeky girls, and everybody in the chat. Tamika saying hi. Tamika Davis, hello. Kevin said hi, Tamika. So that's it, you guys. I've been on here talking your heads off for long enough. I do want to say, if you have not dropped your link and you want to, if you desire to do that, unlike the desire to have kids or not to have kids, this one is easy. This one takes no thought. It just takes, all it takes is you pushing that button, or not pushing the button. All it takes is you typing GGJ in if you want to drop your link. You don't even have to think about that one. Or do you? I guess so. Like if you want to drop it, it's an easy yes or no. I do or I don't. So if you want to drop it, type GGJ. If you don't want to drop it, carry on. You're still loved here. It doesn't matter. But I will say thank you all so much, because I don't feel like I say it enough to you. I really appreciate you all giving me your time today, because time is something you cannot give back. I know it's a precious commodity. So whenever you give me any amount of your time, I am so grateful for that. So grateful. And then also, you all just coming in makes my day, having this conversation and being able to talk to you in this community. It's just something about this community. So I thank you for being a part of it. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. Just hit it. Going about your business, and then come back and watch some more videos, and we'll have great discussions about things. I like to talk about things that are motivational, inspirational. You'll hear me talking about God. You will definitely hear God come out of my mouth. That's just my lifestyle. So you're going to hear God, you're going to hear Jesus. If those are names that you don't want to hear, so you have two choices. You just do this, or you just walk away. Either way, I'm fine with you. Y'all have a great day. Gotta go. All right, bye. All right, see you later. So again, thank you all for coming in. I really appreciate it. Share this out if you feel the desire to, because my goal is just to reach more people and to be able to help more people by having conversations like this conversation that we had today. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you in the next video. It might be a vertical live. It might be an upload. It might be a horizontal. Who knows? And I will get back to you about this information. So everybody take care. Have a great day. I will see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.